Hello friends, welcome to Bankers Platform. Today we have come with memory record questions for BFM subject of CIB. So let's start friends. Before starting friends, please write to 1 to 20 counting on your notebook and give the answers of the questions yourself and check your preparation level and share your score in the comment section. Please also make notes of these important memory recall questions for your future reference. And these memory recall questions are asked in the previous BFM CIB exam. So friends, let's start with the first question. Our first question is under Article 14 of UCPDC 600, the reasonable time allowed to an LC opening bank to examine and to reject the document is. Our options are not exceeding 5 business days from the date of receipt of the document, not exceeding 7 business days from the date of receipt of the documents, not exceeding 5 business days after the date of receipt of the documents, not exceeding 7 business days after the date of receipt of the documents. So UCPDC, friends, you all would be knowing that UCPDC is the guideline which we follow for LC, letter of credit. So here you have to tell how much time a bank gets for examining the documents which has come under LC. So let's see what is the right answer, and the correct answer is C, that is not exceeding 5 business days after the date of receipt of the documents. So friends, here questions are made tricky in the exams. So if you'll see here also you have 5 business days, and here you also have 5 business days, but A is saying that 5 business days from the date of receipt. Like if you have received the documents today, so your days start from today, but you have to calculate after the date of, like if you have received the documents on 10th, then from 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th up to 15th, 5 days you have time to examine the document. This UCPDC guidelines are very important, and 2 to 3 marks questions are asked in the exam from this. So you should go through the UCPDC guideline properly so that you can grab your 2 to 3 marks out of this topic. So let's move to next question. Question number 2. A PIO is person of Indian origin, presently staying in UK, wants a place wants to place a deposit in GBP for 5 years in India. Which of the following accounts can be offered to him within the present exchange control regulations? So, friends, a person is there who is of person of Indian origin, means he is a non-resident Indian. So now he is staying in UK and he wants to place a deposit. He wants to make a deposit of GBP for 5 years in India. So which of the following can be offered? So let's see our options. EEFC term deposit account, FCNRB term deposit account, RFC term deposit account, NRE term deposit account. So friends, the right answer is B, that is FCNRB term deposit account. So B is the correct answer. So he will he will be there and he can open FCNRB term deposit account. तो जो भी है जिन्हें डिपॉजिट बनानी है, that NRE has to make deposit in this FCNRB term deposit account. And EEFC, there is nothing like EEFC term deposit account, because EEFC is a exchange earner foreign currency account, that is in the form of current account. So EEFC we open in the form of current account. And RFC is there. RFC is in the form of saving account, not term deposit. So you can give also term deposit, but RFC is also in the form of term deposit and saving, and this is given to the resident, okay, resident foreign currency account. And NRE term deposit is there, but NRE term deposit is in the form of rupee. So this is in the form of rupee, and we can open deposit also, and there is a saving account also. So the correct answer will be FCNRB term deposit account will be the correct answer. Okay, let's move to next question. Question number 3. Duration is a measure of. So by using duration, what we can by using the duration, what we can measure. Our options are currency risk, counterparty risk, interest rate risk, MTM value, marked to market value. So let's see the correct answer, and the right answer is D, that is mark to market value. So by using the duration, we can measure the mark to market value. Let's move to next question. Question number 4. As all assets and liabilities in the banking books are held till maturity, there is a possibility of maturity mismatch between asset and liability, which is called. तो फ्रेंड्स, जितने भी हमारे एसेट्स और लाइबिलिटीज हैं, उन्हें हमें टिल मैच्योरिटी तक रखना होता है अपनी बैंक बुक्स में. बट there is a possibility of maturity mismatch between asset and liabilities. So लाइक अवर एसेट्स आर अवर एडवांसेस, जितने भी हमारे लोन्स हैं वो हमारे एसेट्स हैं, एंड लाइबिलिटीज आर अवर सेविंग अकाउंट, करंट अकाउंट, दीज आर अवर लाइबिलिटीज. तो यहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स आपको बताना है कि इसकी जो मिसमैच है उससे किस तरह का रिस्क जो है वो होता है. अगर इसमें कोई मिसमैच आता है उसे हम किस तरह का रिस्क करेंगे. सो और ऑप्शंस आर सेटलमेंट रिस्क, liquidity risk, gap risk, market risk. So let's see the correct answer, and the right answer is B, that is liquidity risk. So friend, liquidity risk means like we have asset, we can say we have a one loan. So one loan is there with us. You have one loan of 5 lakh rupees. One second. We have a loan of 5 lakh rupees. Okay, this is very, you have one loan of 5 lakh. Okay, 5 lakh rupees, one loan is there. This is a loan. Okay, and this loan is funded by one deposit. Okay, one FD is there, that is also of 5 lakh. Okay, 5 lakh. One loan is there and one FD is there, both are of 5 lakh. So this FD is there for 10 years, you can say, and this loan is for 5 years. So when we will collect the interest from this loan portion, then only we can give this interest to this FD holder. So if this loan gets closed before 5 years, like this is of 5 year, and if this person closed the loan in 1 year, okay, if he closes the loan in 1 year, so what will happen that we will have a mismatch in the what maturity. There will be maturity mismatch between this asset and liability. This is our asset and this is our liability, because this 5 year is there, and this 5 year was backed up by this FD. From this we have given, and if this person close his close his vehicle loan, whatever loan is there, if we close this loan in 1 year, so we will have a maturity mismatch. We will not be able to pay this person. Okay, so there will be some other method will be also there involved, how we will pay this person, but this mismatch will be called liquidity risk. Okay, so I hope so you understood the liquidity risk. Let's move to next question. Question number 5. Question number 5 is exchange rates. Exchange rates are generally quoted for delivery of currencies. Okay, so delivery of currencies. So here you have to see exchange rate. Like if somebody has come to you and they want some transaction, like some parents have come to you and they want to send the fees of his child for studying abroad. So generally, exchange rate are generally quoted. So what is the generally quoted exchange rate that we use in our banks? Okay, so our options are to take place on the date the transaction is done, to take place anytime after 1 month from the date the transaction is done, to take place on the day next to the date of deal, to take place on the second working day of the date of the deal. So let's see the right answer, and the correct answer is D. That is to take place on the second working day of the date of the deal. Means अगर आपके पास friends, some parents have come to send the education fee of his child. So what will happen that if you are making the transaction today, like if you are making transaction on 10th, so on the same day the transaction will not be done, it will take place on the second working day, that we say spot rate. So there are different type of rate. One is cash or ready rate, and another is term rate, and another is spot rate. And we mostly in banks we deal with the spot rate. So in spot rate, the exchange rate are generally quoted for delivery of currency in the way to take place on the second working day of the date of the deal. Like today, if you have done any transaction, okay, on Monday you have done transaction, so what will happen, on Monday you have done the transaction, and Wednesday the transaction will be in the foreign country's account. Okay, so it takes t plus 2 days. Okay, and term rate is there in which to take place on the next day, that is called term. If you see to take place on the day next to the date of the deal, that is term rate. And to take place on the date of the transaction is done, that is cash or ready. And if you say this to take place anytime after 1 month, that will be forward, that will be forward rate. Okay, let's move to next question, question number 6. A Government of India 10 years bond is held in HTM, held till maturity category. This exposure may be classified under. So our options are banking book, trading book, off balance sheet exposure, term liability. So let's see what is the correct answer. And the right answer is A, banking book. तो फ्रेंड्स जितने भी हमारे चीजें हैं जो एच टी एम कैटेगरी में हैं, लाइक वट एवर इज कैप्ट इन एच टी एम कैटेगरी, दैट आर classified, this exposure will be classified under banking book. Okay, let's move to next question, question number 7. As per Reserve Bank of India guidelines, the premium of export credit insurance for banks post shipment finance. तो जितने भी फ्रेंड्स पोस्ट शिपमेंट फाइनेंस जो बैंक करती है, लाइक बिल डिस्काउंटिंग इन द फॉर्म ऑफ, सो दैट विल बी बैक्ड बाय व्हाट, तो जो उनका प्रीमियम है वो कौन पे करेगा. It is to be is to be absorbed by the bank, is to be shared by the bank with the exporter, is charged to the sub supplier, is charged to the exporters account. तो जो पोस्ट शिपमेंट है उसमें जो है हर बैंक को ईसीजीसी का कवर लेना होता है. एज यू ऑल नो, इन द पोस्ट शिपमेंट एडवांसेस we have to take the ECGC cover. So who will pay this premium? So you have to give the answer of this question. So let's see the right answer, and the correct answer is A. That is it is to be absorbed by the bank. So bank has to pay the post shipment premium in case of पोस्ट शिपमेंट एडवांस. सो जितने भी पोस्ट शिपमेंट एडवांसेस होते हैं उसमें जो भी प्रीमियम है, इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम है, दैट बैंक हैज टू पे. So let's move to next question. So friends, ECGC is a very important topic because post shipment, जितनी भी post shipment credit हैं, that are backed with ECGC insurance. So please go through ECGC also, and many questions are asked from ECGC. Let's see next question, question number 8. In terms of UCPDC, in case of invoices made on CIF basis, the insurance must be of at least 100% of CIF value, 100% of FOB value, 110% of CIF value, 115% of CIF value. So friends, again here question is related to UCPDC guideline. So you have to tell that how much insurance has to be taken. So let's see the right answer, and the right answer is C. That is 110% of CIF value. तो जब भी फ्रेंड्स जो इन्वॉइसेज हैं अगर वो CIF बेसिस पे बनाए गए हैं तो उस केस में हमें जो है इंश्योरेंस 110% का लेना होता है. दिस इज ऑल्सो एज पर UCPDC guideline. Let's move to next question, question number 9. The off balance sheet exposure do not include which of the following. तो जितने भी फ्रेंड्स ऑफ बैलेंस शीट एक्सपोजर्स हैं बैंक के, उसमें हमारे ऑप्शन से कौन सा इंक्लूड नहीं करता है. लेट्स सी द ऑप्शंस. फर्स्ट इज बैंक गारंटीज, लेटर ऑफ क्रेडिट, बिल डिस्काउंटिंग, बैकअप क्रेडिट लाइन. So let's see the correct answer, and the right answer is C. That is bill discounting. So friends, off balance sheet exposure, mostly jitne bhi like off balance sheet exposures are there, in that what is happening, that we have kept the contingent liabilities are there in the off balance sheet exposure. So jo bhi contingent liability hai, like BG, bank guarantee is a type of contingent liability. if if it will be invoked, bank has to pay. If it will not be invoked, then there is no liability of the bank. So bank guarantee is a off balance sheet exposure item. And LC is also a contingent type of thing, but in LC we have to make the payment, but LC is a non-fund based facility we have provided. And bill discounting is a fund based facility, so this is not a part of balance sheet exposure. And backup credit line, so in backup credit line also bank is giving a type of guarantee for the credit line, but bank is not actually funding something. So in A, B and D there is nothing that is a type of funding, but in C there is a funding, that is fund based transaction is there, bill discounting, so it will not be included in off balance sheet exposure. So these three, A, B and D, will be included in off balance sheet exposure. So friends, these all questions which we are discussing here, these questions have come in the previous exams of BFM subject. So there is a lot of possibility that these questions can be repeated, and many times it is seen that many questions are repeated from the previous exams in the CIB exam. So let's see next question, question number 10. Penal provisions of RBI are applicable for following types of willful loan defaulter. So RBI is having a provision to penalize the people who are in willful defaulter. So what is the applicability? Okay, so our options are 10 lakh and above, 25 lakh and above, 50 lakh and above, and D, all types of willful defaulter. So let's see our correct answer, and the right answer is B, that is 25 lakh and above. So a person who is having a loan default of 25 lakh and above, so that person only can be categorized in willful defaulter list. And if a person has 20 lakh rupees loan default, and he is a willful defaulter, but we cannot put that person in the willful defaulter list. It is only the person who has 25 lakh and above loan default, then only he can be put in the defaulter list and will be penalized as per the RBI provisions. Let's move to next question, question number 11. Dash is the risk arising on account of non-enforceability of contract against a counterparty. So इस तरह के फ्रेंड्स रिस्क को हम क्या कहेंगे? लीगल रिस्क, market risk, country risk, gap risk. So let's see what is the correct answer, and the right answer is A, legal risk. So legal risk means a risk arising on account of non-enforceability, मीन्स कि अगर आपने किसी पार्टी के साथ कोई कॉन्टेक्ट किया है और आप उसके ऊपर लीगली कुछ एक्शन नहीं ले पा रहे हैं, इन दैट केस दैट टाइप ऑफ रिस्क विल बी कॉल्ड लीगल रिस्क. Let's move to next question, question number 12. A bank identifies four assets A, B, C, and D for investment with a view to reduce the portfolio risk. It has to choose one of them. Which of the following criteria would be most relevant? तो यहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स ये फोर एसेट्स हैं जिन्हें फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट विद ए व्यू टू रिड्यूस द पोर्टफोलियो रिस्क. तो बैंक उससे पोर्टफोलियो रिस्क को रिड्यूस भी करना चाहता है. तो विच वन विल बी द करेक्ट option for the bank? So let's see the options. Risk capital required for each asset, return on risk capital required for that asset, correlation of the asset with the portfolio, income earned from the asset. So let's see the correct answer. And the right answer is D, income earned from the asset. So bank has to decide on the way of income earned from the asset. Okay, let's move to next question, question number 13. What TT rate will be applied to a foreign correspondent maintaining a Vostro account with you to fund rupees 100 million to their account? Interbank rate for USD INR is 44.7950 oblique 8050, and a margin of 0.0050 paisa is to be applied. So this is just an example, friends. Don't think that USD INR rate is 44, and this is just an example we have taken. And as you all know, dollar is trading in 74 75 rupees. So this is just an example. Okay, so you have to calculate that what rate will be applied, and our options are 44.8100, 44.8000, 44.7900, 44.8450. So friends, pause the video and calculate your answer and then come to the right answer. Let's see the correct answer, and correct answer is C, that is 44.7900. So this rate will be applied. So let's see the explanation of this questions, friend. So explanation is something like that: since the bank is to fund rupee account of the foreign correspondent by converting USD to INR, so bank will buy USD at USD buying rate. ओके, तो जब भी फ्रेंड्स इस तरह का आपको दिया ना 44.7950/8050, so here first is buying rate and second is selling rate. Okay, first part is buying rate, second part is selling rate, because always buy low sell high. This is the concept कि हमें खरीदना सस्ते में है और बेचना महंगे में है. So here what is happening, बैंक विल बाय, बैंक को खरीदना है, बैंक हैज टू बाय द यूएसडी. सो मार्जिन इज देयर, मार्जिन इज 0.0050 पैसा. सो what we will do when we have to buy, at that time margin of this will be reduced from the buying rate. तो जो हमारा बाइंग रेट है 7950, उसमें से हम मार्जिन को सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लेंगे. सो व्हाट वी विल गेट 44.7950 माइनस 0.0050, then we'll get 44.79. दिस इज अवर आंसर. अगर फ्रेंड्स यहाँ पे अगर हमें इसे सेल करना होता, if we have to sell the USD, in that case we will use this rate 44.8050. This rate we will be using, and margin will be added, margin will be added this 0.0050. तो उस केस में हम मार्जिन को ऐड करेंगे, ना कि सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे. तो सब्ट्रैक्ट विल डू व्हेन वी हैव टू बाय समथिंग, देयर वी हैव टू थिंक दैट जितने भी हमें सस्ते का मिले, बाय लो सेल हाई. सो व्हेन वी हैव टू सेल हाई, और अगर हमें सेल हाई करना है, तो इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन दैट दिस हाई, दिस हायर अमाउंट विल बिकम मोर हायर व्हेन विल ऐड दिस मार्जिन. सो इसे हमें और हाई करने के लिए मार्जिन को ऐड करना होगा. So I hope so you understood that how we have done this. So I hope so you understood this problem. And these type of questions are asked in 1 mark or half marks, and I'm definitely sure that you understood this, and your 1 marks will be there from this portion. Let's move to next question. Question number 14. Dash risk is the risk that default by one financial institution will create a ripple effect that leads to defaults by other financial institutions and threatens the stability of the financial system. So friends, here you have to tell which type of risk this is, जिसमें एक फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन अगर डिफॉल्ट करता है, उसका जो रिपल इफेक्ट है वो दैट लीड्स टू डिफॉल्ट बाय अदर फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन आल्सो, उससे दूसरे इंस्टीट्यूशंस पे भी इफेक्ट पड़ता है. अवर ऑप्शंस आर सिस्टमैटिक systemic risk, financial risk, market risk, default risk. So let's see the correct answer. Correct answer is systemic risk. So systemic risk जो है, दिस इज अ टाइप ऑफ रिस्क जिसमें एक फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन के डिफॉल्ट से अदर जो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं उनके, वो भी डिफॉल्ट में आ सकते हैं, और थ्रेटन द स्टेबिलिटी, उनकी भी स्टेबिलिटी पे थ्रेट हो जाता है. ओके, सो यू रिमेंबर दिस रिपल इफेक्ट. रिपल इफेक्ट इज एसोसिएटेड विद सिस्टमिक रिस्क. Okay, let's move to next question, and this is a very important question friends, because this question is asked many times in the exam. Let's see next question number 15. Interest arbitrage is done by the treasury by using which of the following method? So let's see the options. Borrowing in a foreign currency and deploying in home currency and vice versa, taking advantage of interest differential, borrowing from RBI at a lower rate and lending to borrower at a higher rate by using derivative products. As treasury make money in other areas of money market, they lend to borrow at a lower rate. So you have to tell what happens in this interest arbitrage. Let's see the correct answer, and the right answer is A, that is borrowing in a foreign currency and deploying in home currency, and vice versa, taking advantages of interest differential. तो जो इंटरेस्ट आर्बिट्रेज होता है फ्रेंड्स, उसमें क्या होता है कि जो ट्रेजरी है वो बोरो करते हैं एक करेंसी में. लाइक इफ रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इन द यूएस, अगर हम एग्जांपल लेते हैं, अगर यूएस में इंटरेस्ट रेट जो है वो कम है, ओके, और इंटरेस्ट रेट जो हमारे इंडिया में ज़्यादा है, लाइक यू कैन से इंटरेस्ट रेट इन USD. In America, interest rates are 1%. Okay, and in India, interest rate is 7 to 8%. So what this treasurer will do, he will borrow the money in foreign currency. Like he will borrow in USD and he will convert in home currency, that is INR, and then he will give that as a loan, you can say, and in that way he takes the advantage of this interest differential. So interest differential will be there, but it is not in case of like loan, but you can say in case of फॉरवर्ड रेट्स. जब हम फॉरवर्ड रेट्स करते हैं वहां पे जो इंटरेस्ट रेट अप्लाई होता है दैट इज डिफरेंट इन डिफरेंट कंट्रीज. सो देयर इंटरेस्ट आर्बिटेज बेनिफिट इज टेकन बाय द ट्रेजर. ही बोरोज द in a foreign currency and deploy in home currency, or he will take the borrow in the home currency and deploy in foreign currency. So in this way he can get the advantage. Let's move to next question, question number 16. An exporter can hedge his exchange risk using a call option, a put option, a currency swap, forward surcharge of dollars. Let's see the correct answer, and the right answer is B, that is a put option. तो एक put option को यूज करके जो एक्सपोर्टर है वो अपने एक्सचेंज रिस्क को hedge कर सकता है. ओके, hedge मीन्स लाइक hedging का मतलब ये है फ्रेंड्स कि आज अगर डॉलर है 75 का, ओके, इट इज इफ डॉलर इज ऑफ 75 टुडे. So in that case, what will happen? He will take the put option. He will take the option. By using that, he can hedge his risk. Let's move to next question. Question number 17. What is the core reason for treasury profit being attractive? Our options are: they operate in interbank market and are highly leveraged. They have a specialized staff and deal with corporate directly or smartly. Option C: they operate in completely computerized environment and cost of operation is negligible. D: they deal in exotic product which are profitable. Let's see the right answer, and the correct answer is A: they operate in interbank market and are highly leveraged, because they have a lot of amount with them. They have a huge amount and they work in the interbank market. Due to that, they have a good profit in the treasury. Let's move to next question. Question number 18. Which of the following test seeks to determine possible change in market value of portfolio that could arise due to non-normal movement in one or more market parameters like interest rate, liquidity, inflation, etc.? So our options are stress testing, back testing, duration test, none of the above. So यहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स आपको बताना है कि ऐसा कौन सा टेस्ट है जिसमें हम देखते हैं, in which we check the possible change in market that could arise due to non normal movement. मीन्स कि अगर अदर पैरामीटर्स जो है मार्केट में उनमें मूवमेंट नहीं होती है, उसका जो इफेक्ट है वो एक किसी और चीज पे पड़ेगा. लेट्स सी द राइट आंसर, एंड द करेक्ट आंसर इज ए, दैट इज stress testing. And I hope so friend, you all are marking your options yourself first. Firstly mark the answer yourself and then see what is the correct answer. And when you will be doing this, it will be a type of revision for you, because not much time is there. Today it's Sunday, and your exam is on Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday, two exams are going to be there. So you should also mark the question yourself, and then you should share your score in the comment section, that how much score you're getting. And these questions will be there in your exam screen definitely. In this section which we are discussing 20 questions, out of this 4 to 5 questions definitely going to come in your exam on Saturday. Let's see next question, question number 19. Standardized duration approach is applicable for computing capital requirement for operational risk, market risk, credit risk, liquidity risk. Let's see the correct answer, and the right answer is B, that is market risk. तो जो standardized duration approach है वो हम market risk को measure करने के लिए use करते हैं. Okay, let's move to next question, question number 20, and this is the last question of the day. Which of the following is not function of ECGC? तो यहाँ पे आपको बताना है फ्रेंड्स, इन ऑप्शंस में से कौन सा फंक्शन ईसीजीसी का नहीं है. और ऑप्शंस आर: ए, offers insurance protection to exporters against payment risk. B, makes available information on different countries with its own credit ratings. C, makes it easy to obtain export finance from banks or financial institutions. D. Assist exporters in recovering bad debt. E. All of the above. So let's see what is the correct answer. So the correct answer is E. I think friends here is some mistake because the question is which of the following is not function, and A, B, C, D all are the function. So here there is a correction that you note that this is not all of the above. This is here it will come. This is wrong, and here it will come none of the above. Okay, what has happened? Okay, this is not all of the above. Here it will come none. Okay, so this is the correct answer. None of the above. This option is wrong. Okay, none of the above because these all are function and question is which of the following is not function. So none of the above because these all are the function. So in this way tricky questions are asked where what happens that they are making you confused because the question is which of the following is not function. A is function, B is also a function of ECGC, C, D, all are function. So the correct answer will be none of the above. Okay, because all are the function. So friends, this is a set of 20 questions and I hope so you are benefited. Thank you friends. Thanks for watching this video and please like this video and share this video with your friends who are preparing for CIB exam because we will be coming with more questions on the uh, banking BFM subject and other our retail banking. So please subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed and press the bell icon so that you can stay updated with us. Thank you friends. Have a nice day.